Hello students, welcome to EPG Pathshala. My name is DK Bhattacharya and I will be talking about Indus Valley Civilization. Indus Valley Civilization is the name given to a large number of excavations that yielded urban archaeology or urban settlement in India, combined India at that time from Harappa and Mohenjo-daro. The excavations of Harappa and Mohenjo-daro was done by Marshall and Mackay, and from that time onward, large number of sites have been found all over Pakistan, Baluchistan, India, in India, Rajasthan and Gujarat. If you take the total area covered by Harappan sites, it goes from north in Ropar to south in Sutka Jendor and even to Daimabad in Maharashtra, and in the east up to western UP, and in the west up to Makran coast. So about 1 million square kilometer area. This development of urban culture is seen for the first time. It is so unique. We have urban cultures in Syria, in Sumeria, in Egypt, but then it is very interesting that this is the first time you find the development of urban culture dating to almost 3800 BC, where burnt bricks are used. You see, burnt brick is a novelty. Nowhere in Sumeria you find burnt brick. You find other mud brick or stones. And in this part of India, it is almost correct that if such a ton and ton of mud brick was baked and fired, that it is possible that whole of Punjab, the woods and the forests were cleared and it became an arid zone. Punjab had no water when India became independent. Punjab would have been a dried area unless, of course, Pratap Singh Kairo and Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru brought the Satluj into canals into Punjab, and it became a wheat bowl of India. So it is believed that Harappans have annihilated the forest, the trees, to burn their bricks in tons. And these, for the first time, give a very interesting character to this urban settlement. Let us look at the important issue of Indus Valley civilization. It is a very big topic, and it can't be dealt in 30 minutes unless we just choose certain components of it. One of the components, for instance, is the urban center, the metropolis. If you look at the metropolis, and it's very interesting, all bricks, whether it is from Roper or down from Sutka Jendor, all bricks are of the same size. That shows there is some centralized authority who are controlling the development structure. Even the urban planning seems to be the same all over in this 1 million square kilometer. The usual planning is of this kind. There are two mounds. There is one site where a third mound has also been found, and that is Dholabira in Kutch. So you have, and it is suspected that there may have been a fourth mound which has not yet been exposed. Generally, there are two mounds. And the number one mound, the higher mound, has an area where there is a lake and there are a number of rooms, and then this mound has been given the name the citadel, the center of power. Citadel is the higher mound. And the lower mound, which is a little far off in the west, usually is between the high mound and the lower mound. Either a river flows or a branch of a river flows. And the lower mound, you have large number of habitation units, roads, and you have wells dug, you have drains made, and it seems to be a very planned urban settlement of villagers. You can't call them villages, of course, they're urban settlement. Now, this twin mount system was interpreted by Marshall to explain that the higher mount, the citadel, was the power center. And the power center, these people who is to stay in the higher mount, had by their side, almost adjoining to the citadel, is a huge granary, and a granary in which grains have been found. So it seems that the surplus of the agricultural produce was usurped by the power center. So the power center had the surplus as a base with which they could do trade from outside India. And we have evidence that trade used to be done with Yemen, Eden, and all those areas in western Middle East. We have evidence of even seal coming from this part of western Middle East. But then these trades used to be done in a maritime way. We have no idea how these boats used to be, but we have one idea, that they used to carry bitumen, they used to collect bitumen and also export bitumen to the western Middle East. Now this bitumen is naturally occurring tar in those faucets from which the natural oil or gas comes out, and in the lip of those tars, lip of those holes, you find deposition of the tar, and this used to be collected by them, and this used to be exported. And we know, therefore, that the bitumen used to be used to seal the planks of wood. If you have two planks of wood and you put bitumen in between, then it becomes waterproof. So there must have been some activity, and strong activity, of boat building and taking the boat across the sea to the western part of Middle East. Now this proves one component of the dispersal of the power base, which is the granary. The granary is the part which is usurped from elsewhere where the food is grown. We have no sites, at least in the excavation of Marshall and Mackay, we have no sites where we knew how the food was produced. Food has been produced in a non-metropolitan site. It has to be a village. But the metropolitan site attracted so much attention for us that we started describing them, and we started looking at the material, because it's the first time 3800 BC to going up to 2700 BC such an urban development of a uniform character was found that you immediately got attracted to it. There are many components which we'll talk about later on. But the important point is the producing base was a non-metropolitan site, and the non-metropolitan site must have been lying way apart from those urban centers where the produce has to be usurped, used to be brought in by the side of the citadel, used to be stored in the granary. In the granary, you find small rooms, and each of the room has independent stairs going down to the lake or bath. It is called the Great Bath. And the occurrence of these small independent stairs leading to the room upstairs and the bath below led the excavators conjecture that these people were priests, and they used to take bath and then do their meditation in the small rooms upstairs. Now this fixation with bath seems to have been something which the Westerners felt very much surprised about when they came to do excavation in this part. All the laborers, they used to be so fastidious about taking bath that even when it is very cold, they will dip themselves in water and mumble jumble something, Ram Ram or something, and they thought, oh, this is the spiritual component of Indians. Now the Western scholars found this so much obsessive that they, even the interpretation of the archaeological material, they said they must be priests because they took bath. And they took bath and then went up to the small rooms which has no ventilation, so they must be doing meditation. Now this was a kind of concept that was floated by Marshall and Mackay, and it became very popular, and even in the textbooks we talk about it. It is true that there are two alabaster busts of a male figure which shows some indication of some spirituality. For instance, the man has a shawl which is on the right shoulder, and the shawl has trifoil designs, three loops. Trifoil design. The upper lip is shaved, the beard is there, and there is an amulet here with a circle and a band of hair, and the same amulet here. So this was taken as priest king. So he must be the king, and he's priest because his eyes are closed. So he must be always meditating. Now this is rather ridiculous, but the fact remains that this is the way